The packed jail cells at the Bodile Correctional Facility continue to be a cause for concern for St. Lucia. The Probation and Parole Service continues in earnest to ensure inmates who qualify have a chance at a parole hearing.
So our primary concern is to the safety of the citizens of St. Lucia, and that's the fundamental point.
Assistant Director Probation and Parole Services, Castries, Cuthbert Henry, says the rigorous process takes into account several critical factors.
We interview the families if it's the deceased or whatever the victim's families, even the victim, because some victims may be alive still, because there are various classes of offenses that persons can get parole for. And then dossier is prepared, the hearing is had, and the parole board considers and determines to grant or not to grant.
Henry says if parole is granted, a parole officer is assigned to assist former inmates from the point of release to resettlement into a community.
The community is very involved in the entire process because the community background checks are done and so on. A very important thing that we would like to note that there is no legislation preventing or forbidding the Department of Home Affairs or the Probation Services from letting the names of the parolees out, because this is a public endeavor. The parole board is a public board. They are gazetted. The parole members are gazetted to give them legitimacy to operate.
The official also sought to make the distinction between parole and probation.
In probation, the person most likely will never go to the prison. Parole people come from the prison. Yes, so that's a fundamental difference.
Henry notes that despite the eagerness of inmates to have their case come before the parole board, the entity remains focused on managing the system gradually, given that there are currently only 4 parole officers and other extenuating factors must be taken into consideration. However, he remains hopeful of the continued collaboration between the parole board and the Bodile Correctional Facility to ensure a seamless former inmates' re-entry into society. Solasha Alfred, HTS News Force.